So this morning, I'm going to tell you what the single most powerful tool is in influencing others and what wins in moving large masses of people in your desired direction. The answer is, are you ready? Story. It is not the best idea that wins. It is not the right answer that wins. It is always the best story that wins. Wherever information is exchanged, whenever influence is being made, wherever there are products and companies and careers, politics, religion, knowledge, education, and culture, you will find that the best story wins. Now, this might drive you crazy if you think and assume that the world is swayed by facts, reason, logic, and fact-checking. But it's not. That's not how humans think. Homo sapiens conquered this planet thanks, above all else, to our unique ability to create and spread fictions. We are the only mammals that can cooperate with large numbers of strangers because only we can invent fictional stories, spread them around, and convince millions of others to believe in these stories too. According to human psychologists, 90% of all human communication is based on storytelling. Unlike other animals, human beings evolved to be able to convey information about things that don't actually exist. Stories, fictions. As long as everybody believes in the same fictions, plays by the same rules, we can then cooperate effectively. You see, money is a story. Money doesn't have any value in and of itself. It's just a story that we invented. It's actually fiction that these little pieces of paper are worth a certain number of loaves of bread. But as long as everybody believes in the story, it works. And thus, the individual or group of individuals who develop the ability to tell good stories consequently have influence, gain power, shape culture, and then it becomes our history. Know this, all of human history is ultimately a complex network of stories that we have told each other. Storytelling is the essence of our survival and prosperity. Nations exist only in our imagination. The United States is a story. So is Russia, China, India, England, and all the rest. Borders and cultural identities are fictions that we made up and perpetuated. Football is a story. We're only able to play football because everybody believes in and accepts the rules drawn up by the NFL, or for the footballers outside the US, FIFA. The Olympic Games are a story. Hell, capitalism is a story. So is democracy. So is communism, fascism, liberalism, and conservatism. Heck, so is justice and laws and most everything. All stories, fictions that we decided to believe in and adhere to. That is why the best story wins. Obama told a better story than John McCain. And again, better than Mitt Romney. It wasn't his resume. It wasn't the facts, ration, and reason of his proposed policies that won. He told a better, more compelling story. And like it or not, so did Trump when he defeated Hillary Clinton. Remember, the best story wins. Great ideas told poorly go nowhere, while old or even wrong ideas told through a compelling story can ignite a revolution and change human history. Charles Darwin didn't discover evolution. He was just the first to write a compelling story about it. As Rory Sutherland, the chairman of Ogilvy and Mather, put it, no one would have heard of Jesus if it wasn't for St. Paul. The success of Christianity today is a product of better storytelling. And even within the same story, Catholicism told a better story within the same story. Of the staggering 45,000 different Christian denominations, Catholicism makes up half, as in 1.3 billion of the global market, 2.6 billion Christians. Nothing launched by Apple under Steve Jobs was new. Every revolutionary, universe-denting product that he launched had already existed. The computer, the laptop, the MP3 player, the mobile phone, watches, earbuds, tablets, all of it had already existed. Jobs only packaged them into better stories. Jobs was famous for his keynote speeches. He was known to agonize for hundreds of hours over the details of his presentation. Why? Because he knew the entire success of his new products would be how well he told their story. He didn't even use dazzling special effects to sell iMacs, iPads, iPhones, iPods. Jobs influenced and mobilized millions and millions of people to buy what he had, dressed in jeans, tennis shoes, and a turtleneck, simply through captivating stories. Steve had an amazing ability to craft a story narrative. Fictional, mind you, that hooked his audience in suspense, that resonated with them, and then mobilized them into his stores to buy, sometimes after sleeping outside or waiting in line for hours for the privilege of giving him their money. He was such a good storyteller that he could sell his repackaged electronic devices at Toyota-like volumes, but with Rolls-Royce-like margins. Apple, the first company in human history to become a $2 trillion company, the most valuable company in the world, is still riding on the genius of Steve's original fiction making. The bottom line for you here is this. This should be incredibly exciting to you. A, you have just been told the most important story of your life. You have been handed the most powerful tool of influence, leadership, wealth creation. And B, this identifies for you that you don't have to create anything new to change the world. You can do it by simply explaining an old thing in a new way, packaging it in a better story. The way that wins every time, by telling a better story. Look, we are overwhelmed by information. We don't need any more of it. Stop pouring more information out there. The highly valued gift that you can give the world is taking all the information that is out there and help people make sense of it. Give your information a better narrative, a simpler and more compelling one. That is what story does. Morgan Freeman can narrate a story about a credit card that brings people to tears and drives millions of dollars in new revenue, while a scientist who might cure a disease, if they can't tell a compelling story, will go unnoticed, unfunded, and will fail. So remember this, story wins. The one with the best story influences, leads, has power, gains prosperity, and makes a difference. I hope you know how important today's mentor session has been. To be sure, jot down your thoughts in your Darren Daily journal and tell us, where in your life, in your influence, do you need to package a better story? In your business, in your family, in your community, etc. Share with us what that is in the comments below.